Hi everyone, and welcome back to another stimulus check update video focused on those of you who are on the Social Security benefits programs such as SSI, SSDI, veterans, and railroad retirees. Now in today's video, I'll be focusing on a few questions and comments received in the previous videos. So if you do like receiving this content, definitely go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, and continue to drop comments down below letting people know if you've received your stimulus check or if you haven't, and what program that you are on, whether you've received it or not. That really helps out this video and helps to get it to a lot of people, and it helps people to understand what's going on and if they're the only one who hasn't received their stimulus check, and if those checks are coming through finally. So you all have been doing an amazing job, and I thank you all so much for leaving those comments and liking the video. Now with that said, let's get straight into the content of this video. So let's just jump straight into a couple comments that provides a little bit of an update based on the Social Security beneficiaries experience. So the first one I would like to mention is from Marita, and she states, "Hello there, I finally got to talk to an agent from the IRS. The agent was courteous and willing to help. Sadly, there is no other news on her stimulus check. Yeah, she's an SSA recipient and she hasn't received anything yet." And she says he mentioned that it is taking longer for SSA recipients and no info has been loaded into the IRS system as yet. So unfortunately, the IRS doesn't even really have an update, but they are beginning to answer the phones and take your questions. I know that there are a lot of you who are still having issues with getting through to be able to speak to somebody. So thank you, Marita, for providing that update, and hopefully that information helps people out that at least someone is working in the IRS, and eventually you will be able to get through to somebody if you are calling. The next comment I would like to mention comes from Susan, and she states that go on the IRS website. She receives SSDI and VA comp. She didn't assume that they had her information. She went through the IRS non-filer form, and 2 weeks later, she was able to receive her check. So that worked for Susan. I do know that there are a few people who have done the same thing and they have not received their check as yet. So just bear in mind, if you do go ahead and you do enter your information, there is a little disclaimer that your file, it may take 2 weeks generally once you enter your information for that information to process. Generally, again, 2 weeks for that information to process. But it worked for Susan, and 2 weeks later, she did get her stimulus payment. The first question comes from Tasha Johnson, and she states that she's on SSI and she hasn't received her check and if she should do anything. Hey, Tasha, thank you so much for the question. According to the IRS website, you shouldn't have to do anything. Once you are eligible, meaning if you qualify to receive a stimulus check, you shouldn't have to do anything. You should be expecting to receive your stimulus payment in the same way in which you receive your payments for the SSI program. Now, what has been happening is that a few people have been receiving their stimulus checks, while there are other people who have not been receiving their stimulus payment either. So according to the IRS website and the Social Security Administration website, most people on SSI programs should have received their stimulus payment by mid-May, but there are still a lot of people out there who have not received their payments. The next question comes from Evelyn, and she states that I'm on Social Security and have Direct Express. When will I get my stimulus check? Hey, Evelyn, thanks so much for the question. Unfortunately, the IRS has been a little tight-lipped about releasing an updated schedule for those of you who have not received your stimulus payment. But the latest information I do have is from the Direct Express website. It's not going to be that much help to you, but it'll let you know that your payments are, at least payments for those on the Social Security programs, are being made. And they stated on their website, most eligible Social Security, SSI, Veterans, and Railroad Retirement Board recipients receive their economic impact payments to their Direct Express card by mid-May. Now, be aware that there are a lot of people out there on those programs who still have not received their stimulus payments, so you are not alone. However, those payments are being made weekly. The next comment comes from Javon, and he states that the debit cards, from his understanding, is for taxpayers. They didn't say anything about non-filers, and thank you so much for that comment. So according to the U.S. Treasury website, it isn't exactly clear, but I will read the statement from the website. It states, EIP cards are being distributed to individuals qualified individuals without bank account information on file with the IRS and whose tax return was processed by either the Andover or Austin IRS Service Center. Now, for me, I read it as two groups of people simply because there's a comma separating those qualified people without bank account information on file and those whose tax returns have been processed by those locations. Is that how they want me to read that information? I am not sure. So it isn't specifically clear, and CNET.com tried to receive some clarity, and they were not able to get clarity on who will receive those prepaid debit cards. The final question of today comes from Kim, and she states that she's on SSDI and she has a payment, and the IRS Get My Payment tool is not working for her. So, Kim, if the IRS Get My Payment tool is not providing information to you, that's because unfortunately your information has not been processed. So, be sure to check that tool every day. Do it daily, once per day, because the IRS does update that information once per day. And as far as you having a payee, those who are on SSI, for those who have representative payees on the Social Security Administration website, they did release that they will begin receiving their payments in late May. So who knows how long that will take and if the IRS will be able to stick to that schedule, but that's the latest information for representative payees, and it's specific to those who are on the SSI benefit program. With that said, I would like to thank you all for watching this video and tuning in. So another video will be coming to you all tomorrow. So if you don't want to miss that video, make sure that you subscribe, hit the like button, and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that video. As always, guys, thank you all so much for your support, and thank you for watching the video. See you in the next one.